All right, everybody. I think I see a couple of people are still jumping on, but I think it's 5 after. I think we're going to get going here. Welcome to the. I guess we did a trial run last month with Tim Flagler from Tightline Productions, but this is the I guess the opening edition of our Talking Trout series. Clay Parmley is going to be hosting. I'm Mike Coor. I'm the State Council Chair for Wisconsin Trout Unlimited, and I'll be assisting Clay with this. We got Shawn Sullivan from the Wisconsin DNR tonight, and I think it's going to be I think he's got a really interesting program about the Central Sands. So I'm going to turn it over to Clay.
Right. So for those of you new to Zoom, I'd like to ask that everyone turns off their video and mutes themselves, just to ensure the best audio and connection for everybody. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to drop them in the chat, which is right in the bottom center of your screen. Hopefully we'll get around to answering as many of those as we can. Like Mike said, we have Shawn Sullivan tonight talking about the Central Sands area trout habitat. That's all I have. Shawn, if you want to take over, go right ahead.
All right, good evening, everyone. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm getting some feedback here. As the intro goes, yep, my name's Shawn Sullivan. I'm with the DNR in beautiful Wild Rose, Wisconsin. And yeah, I'm going to give a talk about what we do here in the Central Sands. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please send them, IM them to Clay or Mike. Otherwise, I'm just going to get right into it. First slide is White River. Kind of defines the character of central Wisconsin. There's not a whole lot of banks and huge hills like there is in the Southwest. There's not much for rock on our streams. And you know, they're beautiful. They're rough to fish, and we'll cover that here in a little bit. That right there looks like a pane of glass, which is always difficult to fish on. We are known for our Hexagena Mayfly hatch. As you can see, that is an actual fly. They're huge. With their tail, they're around 3.5 inches. Most of the anglers use size 6 or size 4 dry fly hook or light wire salmon hook, and yeah, it's pretty cool. This is what they look like when they're hatching. They're a burrowing mayfly. They'll live 3 to 4 years in the sediment and the silt of our low gradient streams, and they will hatch right around the beginning of June, and they'll go for a 2 to 3 week period. It's a pretty exciting hatch. You can catch 20 plus inch fish on dry flies, so it's always fun, and you can fish with you know, somebody standing right next to you, which is very rare to do in the Central Sands area. And these were all caught at night. Yeah, I know mine's the smallest fish. What are you gonna do? Those were all caught on dry flies on a hex pattern. It's a fantastic fishery, very unique in Wisconsin. The White River, incidentally, in Bayfield County has a fantastic hex hatch as well, and yeah, it's a great fishery. It brings the smiling face on these kids in this photo really says it all. You don't have to be too stealthy. You're doing it at night, so you kind of have to have nerves that can get you through the night, and a little bit of an adventure to fish. But again, if anybody's interested in fishing, most of the lower reaches of our bigger systems, the White and the McCann have good hatches. The Willow, very good. Again, all in pretty much the month of June. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the Central Sand region of Wisconsin, so I'm going to go through kind of what forms this area. It is right in the center of Wisconsin. And it's a very unique region, and it was formed by the glacier. We're just a little bit south of where the Green Bay lobe is on this diagram, almost due east of Glacial Lake, Wisconsin. If we would not have had a glacier 15,000 years ago, our area would look just like the Driftless area. But we had this glacier come down and scour the land as it formed coming down to the south, and then as it retreated to the north, it scoured and it also deposited outwash, which is a mix of mostly sand in our area. I love this map. If you see the hook right in the middle, almost dead center in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. Can you see that at all, Mike? Yeah, it's right in the middle. That hook that forms. Yeah, I call it the cradle of Washera. It's kind of a pretty unique geological feature. The top of that ridge is called the Johnstown Ridge, and it parallels across the hand of Wisconsin, right across here. And it basically ends right in Devil's Lake, which is what that big cut is. But if you see a big flat, kind of sandy area, that is Lake Wisconsin. Everything to the left of that drains into the Wisconsin, which drains into the Mississippi. Everything to the east of that drains into Lake Michigan. It does so through the Fox and through the Wolf. And right along this ridge, right along that hook ridge, is where all of our trout streams are. You can see that hook ridge, and then you'll see those kind of straight lines dead center in Wisconsin. Those straight lines are the ditches of the Wisconsin Rapids area. Those are indeed trout streams, and they all start on this terminal moraine ridge. And that's kind of why I call it the crown of Washera, or the crown of Central Sands. We are blessed to live where we do. All of our streams that flow east, southeast, start as trout streams, and we're going to cover that here with brook trout, but we have some of the finest water quality in the world right here, and they start right on this ridge. So I don't know if you do what I do, and you like doing if you like trout streams and it's water quality, and we are every time I look at that, it gives me goosebumps. So if you guys see, one more thing I want to say about this slide is these blue lines. These are trout streams. They used to extend a lot further, but because of land practices and kind of humanities populating the land, and our land use, everything from road development, rock, salt, culverts, undersized culverts, everything. This is kind of telling us that we're not working with our land as well as we could. It's kind of a testament that we still have these fantastic trout streams in these areas. I'm not going to read through these. I'm pretty sure everybody here can read. But we in the DNR, I'm part of a team. I get the fun muddy part of this team. I restore habitat, which keeps our streams resilient and our populations of fish resilient and high, so that anglers can have fun catching them, they can harvest them, and if our habitat is good, we don't need to stock fish. And here in the Northeast, I love the fact that we don't do a whole lot of stocking because our water quality is there. But if you can see the gain from 9,500 to 13,000, that's kind of another hope that we have in the DNR. From water quality specialists, water quality biologists, fish biologists, we care about water quality, the water quality that our citizens drink, as well as how they fish. What we do is still based on science. I'm just going to get a couple of slides out of the way here. This is 12 years of data from the McCann River. which is just a tiny little snapshot into the population of these fish. And we have 30, 40 years of data on a lot of our rivers, and fish biologists collect this data and fish technicians collect this data. This was Dave Bartz and Scott Bundy. Their data, their hard work to collect this. All of our trout streams are on a rotational cycle, and we have data for most all of our trout streams. And the reason these are incredibly important is if you look to the far left, you'll see those spikes under the 4-inch class. Well, you can look at this and say this is a nursery. You see there's not a whole lot of big fish in here, but there are, 500 plus young of the year, young fish. This is a hatchery. This is a hatchery. That's what this diagram is showing you. So what we do is still determined by science. And again, I get the fun fish part, the mud part, but I'm part of a team that does this work. Here's the overall trend of this. This is just based on the number caught. I will get involved if we're seeing declines in our populations of fish. Fish biologists will contact me across agencies, really. Again, we're all part of a team, and what is going on in the system that we can bolster this population of fish back up. And then that's where I will get involved and try to figure out as much as I can about the watershed that these streams are in, and try to fix it. It's yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is our native trout. This is a brook trout. These are indicative of fantastic water quality. These are our indicator species for potable water, for fantastic water. We cannot have clean, clear, potable water without having brook trout. I mean, we could reverse osmosis and all sorts of other systems, but we have these systems functioning correctly from our groundwater. I just want to share this again. You can see the hook of Waushara County, the crown of Waushara, if you will. You see those straight line ditches. Those are again, fantastic water quality for a ditch. There's brook trout in them. In the Rapids crew, I know a couple of them are on tonight. They do a fantastic job keeping the population of those at a healthy level. You go right to the right of those ditches, though, that's where our trout streams start. And the terminal headwaters are going to be brook trout dominant because they're super cold water. But if you see that, it's kind of interesting. Again, I like data as much as I love trout and trout fishing and doing habitat work. We can learn a lot from data across all platforms. If you see these numbers, these catch per mile numbers, they go down the closer we get to civilization. The closer we get to higher land use practices. So I don't know. And then you'll see, yeah, right there, somebody's probably like, what is a 691 in parentheses? That is a dam. The positive side of dams are that they keep brown trout out. There's the 3 is down below the dam, and the 691 is above the dam. This is right in the beautiful city of Wild Rose, the beautiful town of Wild Rose. I'm not going to call it a city because there's not a stoplight here yet. But it's kind of interesting. White River, you'll see a 0. There used to be brookies in the White River. And so I'm proud to be a team. I'm proud to be a member of a team that monitors our water quality as well as our fish populations. And I'm glad that you guys love pulling these beautiful paintings out of the water, either to eat them or to just enjoy them, because they are beautiful fish. So I cannot do what I do without the support of my agency and the support of you guys. Our operational capital is trout stamp. Anglers purchase a trout stamp. I've been buying trout stamps for right around 30 years. For people that don't understand the beauty of our agency, we get a lot of flack for a variety of things, and sure, some of it's warranted. Sometimes, mostly though, I'm proud of our agency for being as simple and dedicated to our resources and to our citizens. All these people right here, they give a lot to make these resources great. This is Central Wisconsin chapter. Last year, actually it was from 2018. They received the External Partners Award for all the work that they do as a chapter and that we do together. And that's Todd Kalish, that's Laura Tucker. Or if you're on the meeting tonight, good evening. I missed you guys. This summer. A lot of my employees are there. Steve, DeVitt, and Wes and Russ and all of you guys. This is the first year that I haven't done work days from May through September. The third Saturday of every month, May through September. We have done work days for 16 years. I've done work days, and yeah, you guys are rock stars. So I just want to point that out. What I do requires great people and teamwork. And again, when anglers buy trout stamps, that money goes right into an account that goes right to us, and it is used for improving water so that we can all enjoy it. And that's how most of the programs within the DNR function. And it's a fantastic system, and it's a great system. Again, yeah, we missed youth camp, and Trout Unlimited. And again, I'm gonna say Central Chapter, but really this is a variety of chapters. This is really Fox Valley Chapter, Central Chapter. There's members from Shawpaca. There's members from all over Central Wisconsin, and even some Northwoods chapters, Marinette. If those of you that do not know Trout Unlimited, if you guys want to join an organization that does this type of work and gets things done, I would highly recommend that you join Trout Unlimited. They are our mission statements with our agency and their organization are we're all like-minded, and I've loved working with TU for almost 20 years. But look at all these great kids. That is fantastic to see, and it's one of the funnest events that we do with Trout Unlimited in the DNR in the Central Sands area. A lot of kids, a lot of great people. These are our work days again. Yeah, what can I say, guys? Again, I missed you guys. It was we're gonna get back out here at some point, and we're gonna keep doing what we do. Great to see these photos. We work with Rawhide Boys Ranch. Again, Steve DeVitt's out here. I hope he's listening in. That's him in that styling hat. To the right hand side. I'm pretty sure you guys are all seeing. Not the green hat. That's Jim Lavin, another great guy. He's got the wide brim hat on. Steve's a rock star. He's on our team. This is Rawhide Boys Ranch. These are kids that are kind of given a second chance up in New London, Wisconsin. We do 2 of these work days a month, and we work with these great organization. And they get a ton done. They're typically 15, 16-year-olds, and they have 15 and 16-year-old backs, so they're able to do a lot more work than Steve and I as we're getting older here, and everybody else in this photo. But so our streams in Waushara County are in wooded, wooded stream corridors, wooded riparian corridors. There's, sections of them, again, towards the cradle of Washera would be considered meadow, but the majority of our streams are wooded corridors. And we have storm events come through, a variety of oak wilt, emerald ash borer. We are always having to deal with trees. A lot of our work is dealing with wood and trees, and again, I want to point that out too. Central Chapter and Rawhide, these guys that are dedicated and passionate, they save us a lot of money as well. And again, every dollar counts. We're able to get more miles of streams opened up so that people can fish them for less cost with people's help. I just love this quote, and these are all great. These are people that do this. Jonathan Piaskowit, he's up in Shauna with a green hat on. Steve's to the far left there, and then Kyle and yeah, Kyle and Jamie and Wes. These are my staff members, and hey, what can I say? I dig you guys. You guys come to work every day, ready to get buried in mud, ready to operate chainsaws, and you do it with your heart. And thanks for doing what you guys do. So I just have a couple of this is going on everywhere. This is there's perch culverts, and then there's turbidity perch culverts, and this is you can look up this tube and see that it's kind of canted at an angle. It's like 3.5 feet. The water is just crushing through this tube, and so Scott Bundy and Dave Bartz, the fish biologist in Washera, they did a mark recapture study to see how many fish could get up this tube, and come to find out next to 0 of them could get through this tube. And this is going on everywhere. It's not uncommon. And again, Trout Unlimited helped us. The DOT, again, I'm a partner with a variety of entities. We made this possible. Bobby Joe Fisher, DOT DNR liaison was great with this. Trout Unlimited was great with this. We can now walk underneath this river, and trout can get through here. This is right in the middle of this trout stream. And if my hand was a trout stream, it was about right here. 90% of the spawning that goes on in a trout stream goes on in the upper third of that river. That is the terminal headwater. That is where 90% of the spawning goes on. And so if fish cannot get through these areas, they cannot procreate, and they cannot add more recruitment to the system downstream. So these are huge. These are great projects that we can do. Connectivity of rivers is fantastic. So it left a huge hole. The discharge from this tube, you could have jumped off of this bridge, could have did a triple sow cow off of this thing, and not touch bottom. This thing was 12 feet deep, and if we did nothing, it would just fill in with sediment and organic material. So we want to incorporate some cover onto these projects. This is our regional supervisor, Dave Boyarski, and I talking about, how this looks. This is a Wisconsin bank cover. Here's the tube before it was installed. That was a tube before the floorless culvert was installed. That is it afterwards. You can kind of see all of this big pile up of sand. We can leave that sand alone. If we reconnect the stream and we're going to provide some cover, the sand will deposit on the inside bends, which if this is a bend on the river, the inside bend is right here. And this is how meanders are formed. Rivers do this all the time on their own. But we want to have cover. As you can see, these are piling, and I'm going to go over this. I'm going to go over what a bank cover is here shortly. But again, we have a bunch of great people, Trout Unlimited and other volunteers that helped us construct this bank cover. what this is basically a controlled overhang. And what you're looking at these are piling. The posts that are sticking up, those are piling that we drive into the stream bottom, and then we build a deck onto them, kind of resting like this, and then we'll backfill that with potato stone that we get from local potato fields. And I'm going to show you. We'll build the deck with volunteers, and then we'll backfill that. If you notice, we don't have like a big steep bank. Like the water's right here, and we have a big steep bank. These are super low gradient streams. Our banks are really kind of varying degrees of nothing over 10. And so we replicate our banks. And this is that same bank cover. 2 years later, we're fortunate in the outwash plain to have Prairie Nursery. In fact, I'm going to throw another plug at an organization that cares and that does a great job, which is Prairie Nursery outside of Westfield. We have a fantastic pollinator wet mesic blend that we plant on our near shore bank covers and brush bundles too. It is a fantastic blend. So we went from that, and again, if you see the kind of the bright green edge of the shoreline, there's about a 3.5 foot overhang that trout can hide under. What you're not seeing is there's a bunch of tree pieces up underneath there, and that provides refuge for fish, various age classes of fish, to bury themselves into this bank cover. The other thing about fully functioning wooded stream riparian corridors is that we have all of the predators that go with it. These aren't egg fields. There's otters, minks, mink, muskrat. There's a variety of things that prey on trout, and so we if this was a natural system, there would be kind of a chaos of wood everywhere that fish, varying age classes of fish, could seek refuge into. And we don't have that. We have houses. You can kind of see the mowed lawn to the left. We have houses all over through here. And if we left a bunch of trees down, the trees would erode their shoreline as the stream wanted to laterally move to the left or right. So and those days are gone. We have to work with what we're dealing with here.
Hey, Shawn.
So, yeah, somebody asked a question?
Yeah, well, before we get too far away from this, Henry had a question about the hole from the perched culvert. He was asking, he said, doesn't filling the hole with sand from above save siltation of the lower parts of the stream? And maybe Henry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what he's getting at is if you left the bucket there, wouldn't that act as like a catch, a sediment trap? Maybe I'm not asking that right, but how did you guys do the hole? Or
what was that, Mike?
So so you said it was like a 12-foot hole, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys filled that in?
No, we don't. We didn't have to fill that in. Yeah, if you can picture like the river then being like this would be the 12-foot hole. The river is going to self-regulate itself by varying particulate sizes of sand. And exactly right. You said it already. It'd be a sand trap. And yeah, some places I've sped that process up by adding rock and you don't need to. Rivers are great. Rivers are great at kind of regulating themselves and fixing themselves, if you want to use fixing as a term for that. Any other questions so far?
Henry gave us a thumbs up. I think we answered his question, so we'll let you continue.
Okay. They're really good for if you don't fill them up. they'll fill in with medium to large particulates first, and then they'll fill up with sediment and organic material. And then the fine particulates will go right over the top of them. And those are great homes for Hexagena nymphs. So there's another reason not worry about filling them. So this is a Wisconsin bank cover. On our team, we call this a hard point, a hard structure. There were hundreds and hundreds of these put in central Wisconsin. We have a museum of these kind of all over around here. If any guys want to go on a tour, I'll show you the evolution of these. The first one that we know of that was installed was in 1956. This is some of the first habitat improvement hard structures that were done in the state of Wisconsin. And, you know, this is Bob Heading designed this. Bob was a geology major, you know, he's a fantastic guy. I got to know him through the work that he's done on our streams. I've only met him a couple of times, but he knew what we were dealing with, which is shifting sand. Kind of, this goes back to the culvert topic. We have shifting sand and not a lot of rock. It is not native. You know, large veins of rock are very rare here. And so his idea was to use a jet pump through a 8-foot, 1-inch metal pipe on a, you know, Honda, kind of a, you know, a water pump or a trash pump, and take your pipe and go down, and then with the column that you jet out, we call them a jet pump. The column that gets jetted out, piling goes right into that column. And then nowadays we use underwater hydraulic chainsaws to cut these at the correct elevation. And then we'll put a stringer board on. That horizontal board there is called a stringer board. And then we'll build a deck on that. And we install a good amount of these. We don't, you know, we've learned a lot about natural systems, how to work with natural systems, how to work with natural wood. These are fantastic in that you will gain 40, 50, 60, 70 years out of these structures, especially if they're installed correctly. And if you fill them full of trees, they're even better. We do have a lot of otter around by us, and they will do a lot of predation on trout populations, and so they work great for that. They work great on DOT projects for riprap. These are the precursor to the lunker structure, and we install lunker structures as well. This is Bob Heading up there in the white shirt. Again, he was kind of in the role that I have now as a habitat manager. This is one of the first bank covers. This is probably a third or fourth evolution of a bank cover. This is from 1958 on the big Rasha Cree over in outside of Wisconsin Rapids. But again, that's 1958. What he's showing, the stick that he's holding in his hand, they used to make these kind of huge with 4-foot decks on them, 5-foot decks on them. It wasn't unheard of, and we've learned that that's a little insane. The more you do that, the more likelihood you're going to have of a failure. But they even collapse, they still hold a lot of fish. And this is from this is 1956 in the McCann. The thing that we also love about bank covers is they're very easy to recycle. I'm going to quick roll through a bunch of these slides. So that was this is a bank cover from 1956 on the McCann River. All we did was we used excavators right on the edge of a body of water. We used food grade or biodegradable hydraulic fluid and kind of specialized excavators. We removed the old bank cover and placed the rock on the inside bend, and then we took out all their wood. They just used, you know, like 3/4 inch oak. We used 2-inch, we use everything from white pine, red pine to oak. And now those of you in wood dominant, ash dominant systems that are, you know, emerald ash borer is it's sad really what emerald ash borer is doing to our wood dominant systems. Ash makes great lunker structure or bank cover wood, so keep that in mind. But so we removed their little wood, and then we replaced it, and they had just enough rock to backfill the top of a new structure, and that's what it looks like complete. And I think this structure will last an easy 50, 60 years. So, you know, I did. Actually, Steve did this, which I loved. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It is fantastic. The hardest part in our area is getting rock to our trout streams. Again, our trout streams are low gradient, so there are a lot of spring seeps, a lot of wetlands, a lot of drains. We cannot get much for equipment into our area until the ground freezes. So yeah, it's a challenge. We build corduroy roads, just like you guys see on swamp loggers. We build them. Another great use for ash trees is a corduroy road. We build corduroy roads to get stone into certain places. But this is a lunker structure. A lot of you, especially if you're anglers associated with Southwest Wisconsin, are familiar with a lunker structure. And you know, the operations teams down in La Crosse and Black River Falls, working with Dave Vetrano, this is a fantastic structure. We still use them. Down in Southwest, they have veins of cobble, veins of rock, veins of limestone. They cannot, you know, we can go, and that's the worry about equipment. If we break through our peat lens, you can make a 320 cat excavator disappear on our trout streams here. They're peat dominant, and yeah, I'm not gonna name any names, but yeah, it might have happened. But and these guys working with the water that they work, they are specialists on the water that they love and that they know. We have different techniques that work in different situations, and that's a lunker structure. They're good for up to about 5 to 6 feet of water. After that, just use whole trees, whole wood. But and you guys know, I've been fishing them. I've been fishing them for a long time, and they work. They're incredible. They hold a lot of fish. This is also the heart of Waushara County in a nutshell. Drive around here. Our bigger systems is where we primarily work because we have our best bang for our buck. We have our best trout populations, but we can't be everywhere. Predominantly what you're seeing here is buckthorn and honeysuckle with an overstory of ash. Doesn't that sound like a great a great blend for what can go wrong? So this is a before photo, and this is an after photo. This is really the bread and butter of what our crew does with trout stamp funding, because we can, and for gift account funding from donations from people, for $5,000 we can get a mile of this type of work done. And so this is really all that most of our trout streams require, is to remove the invasive exotics, to replace them in brush bundles, which is what you're seeing to the right there. And those brush bundles, and I'm going to go over that here shortly, those brush bundles catch sediment and silt as the water comes up in the spring, and it self-seeds them with the seeds that is in the water. And once we have sediment and silt down, we can even speed that process up by putting that same wet mesic blend of mixing that other photo with a culvert. We can place that right on top of the sand and the sediment and the organic material and build this bank back up for minimal money. It is a fantastic system, you guys. And yeah, I love it. That was Wes, by the way. We have a lot of oak wilt that's opening up these pockets around our trout streams, and it's kind of like ash. It's kind of like emerald ash borer. once we get a huge pocket along a trout stream, it opens that up for shear force winds to knock over. These are primarily pines, white pines. Our plant community that stabilizes our soil along our stream banks. You know, I'd love to go to pre-settlement. You know, a lot of people that do what I do, they're always referencing pre-settlement. Yeah, that's beautiful. I try to have that filter all the time, but you know, it's a great reference, but we cannot go back to that. We cannot go, we just can't go there. There's too many things, from acid rain to emerald ash borer to everything that is impacting our streams. High cap wells, all of it. But so this is classic. We see this a lot. This again is in the upper third of a trout stream. So Scott Bundy, Dave Arts pointed out that on our graph, our young of the year trout, it's typically on the smaller fish are on the left. Our young of the year trout numbers were declining. Why are they declining? So our team did a habitat assessment through all this, and we know young fish, so we just had to walk or float the upper third of this trout stream. What's going on? Well, here it was emerald ash borer. No, it was oak wilt that caused this huge pocket to form, which then shear force wind knocked over all these pine trees. So all we have to do is just remove the tops. We want the mean average width of this trout stream to still function through here, but we want all of the coarse wood. You'll see references, the LWD, large woody debris. We want that for, again, this is a nursery. We want that for young fish. This is what it looks like 4 weeks after we remove just the tops of these trees. What you're seeing there is a trout nest. It's called a red, R-E-D-D. That kind of washed rock area that you see directly right from center, that is a trout nest, a red. And again, this is another form of connectivity, particular to headwater streams. Again, on the crown of Washera is where these occur. And if we just do this simple work, this has us not having to stock fish. This one red right here, I don't even know how many thousands of fish have been born and raised through the wood that we left on here, and that were spawned through here. Some of you guys helped us. This was a work day again, and you guys should be proud of the work that you guys did here, because again, tens of thousands of fish have been born on this red, and that to me is exciting. And this is what we see in our survey. Kind of cool. Top is a brook trout, middle is a rainbow, and the bottom is a brown. These are young of the year. We have some naturally reproducing rainbows in central Wisconsin. We have a couple of other streams in kind of north central, our north central area. These have not been stocked, I believe. And again, yeah, somebody, Mike, to correct me if I'm misquoting this, but 1978, 1979, that was the last time these were stocked. And so we have this population of rainbows. You see the brookie and the rainbow. You see the circles on them, the kind of moons on them. Those are par markings. Again, they're beautiful, beautiful fish. You see the speckles in their eyes. They're fantastic, fantastic little babies. I'm just going to roll through these slides because again, I can tend to get wordy talking about this kind of stuff, and I want to hear from you guys. That was a before. This is barrier free on the second South Branch or the first South Branch. Kyle, if you're out there, rescue me. It's one of the two. I think it's a second South Branch, barrier free in the Nicolet National Forest. Fantastic place to fish, you guys. It's on County T. I don't have the gazetteer. It's sitting right here. I could get it for you and show you exactly where it's at if you're interested. Great place to fish, especially in the fall. You have fish that are not measured in inches, but measured in pounds. You have these guys that come up here in the fall to spawn. And again, the upper headwaters of this system. They travel immense areas to come into this area to spawn. And so we want, every few years, we have to come through here and just clean it out so that people can enjoy catching these fish. They're literally, they move through here so quickly that we're not concerned about over harvest. I mean, they fly through here. So you have to be there. This is hard work. Kyle, if you're here, thanks for the work that you're doing. Thanks for all of my field staff. Those guys are wearing, and we wear this every day when we are brushing. They're wearing breathable waders with long underwear on them, with chaps on them over the top of their breathable waders, and they have cut resistant boots on, and they wear this all year round. We wear this outfit, and these guys are up and down, falling over, tripping, slamming into stuff. Thank you for giving it 120%, guys. And I love that he's laughing, because that's all you can do when you love doing this. This is more, I'm gonna roll through these. Tom Logger's right there in the middle. That guy knows what a real hat looks like. Bravo, Tom, I salute you. This is a whole line of Trout Unlimited, both Central Chapter, Fox Valley Chapter, Chain Gang and Trees down that Rawhide Boys Ranch helped us for free labor. You know, they helped us. These are all Christmas trees from the city of Wapaka. They know that we use them, so they don't throw them away or chip them. We use a lot of Christmas trees because they capture sediment, kind of like the brush bundles. This is what you can't see. If you look closely at this photo, you'll kind of see piling. You'll see like these little white things. There's actually a couple of whole ash trees underneath this that are held down with those piling. Just like the pilings that we drive into the stream bottom, we will use those as anchor points to put whole trees, large pieces of trees into those piling, and then we will put Christmas trees and brush on top of those, typically brick Christmas trees at the front leading edge and then brush behind them. The Christmas trees deflect base flow water while allowing water to run through them. And then they also are not a hard point that fights the current, but allows the current to go up and over them in the spring in high water events, which in turn in high water events is where most of our silt discharge comes from, and that will fill our brush bundle up with sediment. And this is 2 years. Yeah, on the slide. Shoot, this slide must be a little big. That's the exact same spot 2 years later. These are beautiful, you guys. We do not need a whole lot of rock in central Wisconsin. Unless we're talking about infrastructure, bridges, culverts, homes, houses. Our natural rivers, again, we have natural functioning, beautiful rivers. We love this brushing and brush bundling and utilizing invasive exotics, whether it be, and I'm calling ash trees an invasive exotic. Sorry for you ash tree lovers. But when you see thousands of dead ash trees, there's nothing natural about that. This is our winter time. This is what we do all over the Northeast region. I'm just gonna, again, quick run through these. Before and after. Before, after. All of our crew members have to be able to do plant ID. If you ever interview with us, you will be walked through along a trout stream, and you have to tell us what just about most every tree or shrub that you see on a trout stream is. We have a lot of poison sumac on our trout streams. If the clarity was a little bit better here, I could show you. Everybody on our team has the scars of our labor, because no matter how good we are at identifying poison sumac, we still get it. Typically on the neck in the wintertime from having a huge one, and you'll just run through it. You'll go through it. You'll You know, some of these poison sumacs will get 15, 20 feet high. So again, before, after, before, after. I'm not going to cover a whole lot of this because I'm running out of time here. I want to kind of hear from you guys and take a sip of water. But we have a lot of sand dominant systems, again, low gradient systems. All of that white grass that you see there is reed canary grass. This is another issue that we have on our streams. It is a huge issue right there with emerald ash borer. Reed canary only came here in the 50s and 60s. It works fantastic in really kind of topsoil heavy systems, you know, where you're dealing with feet of topsoil. In the outwash plain, and this is crazy, you guys, you cannot make this up. You know, our area is 15,000 years old. You know, if there's some geologists on here, you know, fire off Mike a correction on that. It's 1350. I'm just saying 15K because it's a good generalization. We have 4 to 5 inches of topsoil in 15,000 years. I mean, that is insane. That is insane to me. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And that's in our stream corridors. That's in our riparian corridors. You get into an upland, you're looking at 2, 3, 4 inches of topsoil. And then you'll have a sand lens. And again, the glacier scoured our area and deposited this here. Reed canary, and then underneath that in our riparian corridors, and that's kind of crazy too. Look at this stream. Usually streams, if this is the floodplain, a stream will wind all the way through there over the course of its lifespan, and you would still be able to see some of the old channels, and you still kind of can. I don't have a pointer, but those of you that, if you look on the, you know, the lower left-hand side, you'll see an old channel. That's it. We have one old channel. Otherwise, this channel right here, you know, you're looking at thousands of years. It's been running in the same channel. Well, Reed canary has only been here for, you know, 60, 70 years. It does not anchor into peat. So we'll have 2 inches of topsoil, 6 inches of sand, and then the rest of it will be peat. And what is it? And again, you know, I think it's 10,000 years to form 1 inch of peat. 10,000 years to form 1 inch of peat. That is insane. Yeah, think about that later and get back to me. I think that's crazy. And so Reed canary cannot anchor itself into peat. So what happens, the reason our trout streams do not freeze in the wintertime is because they're groundwater dominant, and the groundwater comes out at 55, 54, 53, any of, you know, in the mid 50s temp wise. And so it doesn't freeze, but it will form shelf ice along our trout streams. And that shelf ice will grab onto the Reed canary grass and physically pull it right off of our reed, or right off of our peat. It will pull the Reed canary right off of it. Those of you that have been river ratting around in Washera County and that are observant, you will see big islands of peat, big islands of Reed canary, my bad, washing downstream. This section of river, I helped put the station marker up on this thing in '92, and we lost 11 feet of shoreline, 11 feet of shoreline in '92, from 1992 until 2011. Yeah, let's take a pause and think about that. So we went from a trout stream that had a really good depth. We lost 11 feet, and that what happens? Yeah, maybe this will work better. We had this, and then what happens is you have this, and you have shallow, narrow, and again using the trout stream hand model. This is way down here. Trout spawn way up here, they go downstream and they overwinter in slow reaches way down in here. If trout cannot get through areas, they will sit here and congregate in areas where they can be picked off by predators. You should see the otter toilets on this thing before we were able to do work. If any of you guys have seen an otter toilet, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I won't give you a visual of that. You can do that on your own. But this is, so another cool thing that we do here, you guys, is this area, again, I better get rolling here. I'm getting long. This area is right in the middle. It's that huge area. This took 400 cubic yards of sand to fill, to rebuild a bank, the same bank that we lost. That channel up there on left center, it was huge, and we lost all of that again from scalloping reed canary. I had this idea to use this piranha mini dredge to work with this system to take a negative, which is sand load and widening, and to get this. And that's another reason why I love Trout Unlimited. They helped me pay for this to the point where, again, they saved us trout stamp money that allowed us to get even more work done. This was paid for by Trout Unlimited chapters. Even Elliot Donnelly in downtown Chicago, in Illinois, they foot most of the bill for this. And another reason why I love those guys, and I love TU. And you guys, that's the other reason why I love this. I love what we do, because this worked. It is incredible. I wish I could have, if you look at Google, or if you're on X and you look at the White River Mill Pond, there's some more complications to this, like all of this sand load right at the mouth. The White River has a flowage on it. And this is where all of them are huge, again, not these guys, but these guys. These fish go down here to overwinter, and they couldn't get above this huge slug of sediment that built up right at the mouth of the White River. And so what we did was I better not get going. We did this in various points to speed up the flow. In all of these points, we sped up the flow to basically breach this long sediment bar right at the delta, or the mouth of the flowage. And we did it, and it is exciting. Those of you that hex fish on here know I've been hex fishing here since 1992, and I watched the same. Okay, so the big fish are on the right of the scale. I watched the big fish decline, just like the rest of you guys did. If you guys have fished here in the last 2 to 3 years, I better not go on anymore about giving up spots in central Wisconsin, but I just did. Sorry, my bad. I am a trout angler. That's what it looks like now. That was taken last year. Everything that we did with the piranha worked, and you guys helped us. You guys helped pay for it. You guys helped do it. Again, beautiful. So I'm not going to read this, and so much of what we do, you guys, it means more. It means more than just a trout, and I love Aldo, and I think a lot of you guys do too. I'm just gonna roll through some of these. These are kind of, I'm very blessed that I get to work. My office is a trout stream, and that even though we have to work hard, we get to see all of these really cool critters and creatures. That's a dark fishing spider. We have a lot of them in Waushara County. Again, we have fully functioning riparian stream corridors. And when you have those, you have all the predators that go with it. These guys are huge. Don't worry, they physically cannot bite you. They like your hand because it's warm. They do eat fish. They eat, this is a brook stickleback. They eat fish, and if you find one and see one, please do not kill them. Take photos of it. you know, I can't probably legally tell you to scoop it up in your hand and check it out and enjoy it for what it is, which is a beautiful creature of this trout stream. And again, this thing has been here. I don't know that it's been over 15,000 years. Let's say 8 to 10. It's been here for a long time, doing what it does. We have a lot of water snakes. Incidentally, that water snake is moving in on 2 mating June bugs. So, which is again another secret. You know, don't wait till June to fish these patterns. Fish these in anytime, May, June, July. A June bug pattern, a beetle. One of these days I'm going to catch a water snake. It's a personal goal of mine. Don't worry, it'll be barbless. Do not approach these guys. Don't mess around with water snakes because they will bite you. They are non-venomous, but I think most everybody in our crew, yeah, we get nipped on by these guys occasionally. They will grow to pretty good girth. Clay is the snake wizard right there.
I am. They do call me that.
Clay knows what I'm talking about. They are aggressive.
Yeah,
aggressive.
They actually have an anticoagulant in their saliva, so if you get tagged, you're gonna bleed. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Keep your distance.
Yeah, correct. And we have a lot of them. And the more brush that we put in, they love brush. They love brush. They love aspect of afternoon sunlight. So if you're seeing afternoon sunlight hitting a trout stream and a lot of brush, yeah, think of them. We have yellow-billed cuckoos around here. Again, right on that peak on that aerial photo. If any of you guys love birds, I would tell you to go to the upper Chaffee, the upper Weddy, the upper Tagots, all of those systems along Highway 39. Those are the headwaters on the crown of Washera. These birds are beautiful. They are fascinating. They are gregarious in that they will approach you. They will talk to you, and you'll gauge their mood by how they talk to you. If they're a mated pair, they will talk roughly to you, and they're trying to get you out of their territory. So, but if you guys, hey, you guys think fly anglers are kind of crazy with their hats and their gear and stuff? We were doing a kind of that same upper headwater nursery system project like I showed you in those 1 slides, and we had 2 of these that were 5, 6, 7 feet away from us, just barking at us, just rah rah rah, barking at us. You know, we're like, and they look like they're going to attack us, and they got big curved beaks with that shiny tip on them, and like, you know, I didn't know what they were. I thought somebody's parrot escaped from them, and one of the guys like, no, that's a yellow-billed cuckoo. Like, man, there's no cuckoos in Wisconsin, you know. And every time I see this guy, he just looks at me and goes, cuckoo. But I contacted the Wisconsin Ornithological Society and told them about these because I thought it was fascinating. And I think it was on a Thursday when he came back on Monday. Yeah, the bird guys. Yeah, these guys make fly anglers in their gear look tame. Like they had, you know, full strap binoculars, huge hats, and there's like 50 of them right there waiting for us. It was kind of crazy. It was pretty cool. Again, I love these guys like I love all of our guys because they're here for something that can be intangible, but is beautiful. And again, these birds are right there with them. So we have a lot of orchids, prairie fringed or purple fringed orchid. One of my favorite. Do not pick these. Do not try to propagate these. These are part of the mycorrhizal system in the soil. You cannot cultivate these. So just enjoy them. Take photos of them. They're beautiful. We have lady slippers, yellow moccasin flowers. We have beautiful those are pink lady slippers. In our fully functional riparian corridors, We have just beautiful things. It's hard for me, guys. The title of this was Central Sands, Central Wisconsin. So sorry to my northern chapter brothers that I left out. So Wisconsin's like this. The outwash plain is right here. My area goes all the way up into here and all the way down here. So I have Dorr, and I have Florence and Wood, Oconto, Marinette, and that's Jonathan Piaskowit out of Shawano. That's his bread and butter, but we all work as team members across these huge geographic areas. And you guys, if you're new to Northeast Wisconsin, we have these sandy, low gradient streams. We have northern freestone, big, brawling, beautiful streams. You know, the Wolf River, the Rat, the Peshtigo. We have some of the beautifulest rivers in the world. I'm not even going to just say specific to Wisconsin, but in the world. The Menominee. You guys go and explore them, have fun on these things. They're beautiful. This is actually right at the cutoff, the vegetative tension zone, just north of Shawano. It's crazy to me that you can go, you know, and I actually just drove by this, stopped on a bridge and took a photo. We have so much beauty to see out there, you guys. Don't get bogged down in anything. Just get going. Take some loved ones, take anybody and go explore these areas. We are again blessed to have these areas. Nice. My son is watching. My son is out here. Hopefully I didn't bore you to tears because you know I tend to go on like a good dad does. But hey, I was really proud of my son. This is a 20-inch brown trout. He caught this in the daytime in Waushara County. If you guys want me to answer fishing questions, I'm more than happy to do it. We could set up another presentation later to cover fishing stuff. Again, I've been fishing around here for a long time, but I was very proud of my son for catching a 20-inch brown trout in the daytime in Waushara County. It does not happen too often. And I'm proud of Steve DeVitt, my coworker, because he caught that on your fly, Steve. Nice job, nice work. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm looking like a NASCAR driver. You know, I don't have these all over me. You know, I'm not wearing my NASCAR fish sponsors, but everybody here, I would love to add even more. I would love to add more people. You guys. Tight lines, shop local, you know, join Trout Unlimited if you're on here and you're interested in doing something positive. Join Trout Unlimited, come to our work days. Thank you for your time. You know, and that's it. This is my daughter on the Clark's Fork of the Yellowstone. I'm proud of her too for this river is big and brawling and slippery. She ended up sliding and I caught her, but she's a rock star. She had fun. I can't believe she's 13 now. I think she was 9 when I took this photo. But that's it. That's all I have. I'm gonna get a drink. Actually, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go fill up my old school Central Wisconsin trout mug. I'm gonna go fill that with water and I'll be right back.
Sweet. That was awesome, Shawn. I'm gonna I think we're gonna give we'll give Shawn a minute here. I'm gonna give him a lightning round with the questions, and we'll just roll through the questions, and I'll try to hit all the questions that you guys asked. I know some of the ones that came up in the chat box, I think Shawn had already addressed. So Shawn, take a minute, wet your whistle. We're going to do lightning round with questions. So super quick answers to these, all right? When you're ready.
Hey, rock and roll.
All right, you mentioned the hex hatch. What time does the bite start in the evenings?
Sure, so the bite starts when the whippoorwills kick in. Literally, little variation here and there, but it's almost true. And it depends on where you're at. It kind of depends on where you're at in the system. Also for what time you need to get there at. It can be very busy. It can get, especially after dropping that, dropping that hint.
Come
Sorry.
on, Shawn, just tell us what time. What time do they start biting?
9:30.
9:30. Perfect. Do we need to be concerned about water bottling plants in the Central Sands area?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The best science is always going to guide us through everything. And Dr. Stelzer over in Oshkosh has a fantastic groundwater study that's been going on, showing where if you stick a bunch of straws into an aquifer, if our climate is changing and we can't recharge that aquifer and we draw all that water out, it's going to take it from our ground. It's going to take it from our surface water. So absolutely, absolutely. And this water belongs to all of us, the citizens of the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah. You talked about the trout stamp program a little bit. Do you know, are trout stamp sales rising, falling? Are they steady? Do you have any idea of where they're at?
Sure. They're with COVID going on, they have increased. We saw record anglers fishing, especially the early season. We had record anglers fishing, and go fishing, you guys. Seriously,
Yeah.
it is great that everybody's doing that. I think in general they've been staying the same, maybe dipping down, starting down. There's more competition with leisure time than fishing, and fishing's hard. It is hard. It can be very hard, and again, it's not just, don't just go there to catch fish. Go there to relax. Get there, take a deep breath and relax. You're done. Just deprogram, look for flowers, look for snakes, look for everything around you, relax, take it all in and enjoy it, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's perfect. I know I kind of track the numbers too, because we've been pretty interested in the trout stamp and that, and I think it's hovering around 140,000 a year is what we find. And what I've heard is this year it's up about 20%. So I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it's definitely a banner year. All right. Do you guys have stats like before and after you go in and do the bank covers on what effect that has on trout populations and size?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I live and breathe trout hab, and I'm always researching it and reading it, and there seems to be this misconception that what you guys do doesn't it's so well studied that it's hard to get people impassioned to want to collect more data on something that has already been kind of collected to death. And again, so this is a lightning round. I'm supposed to be out quick with this. I think that's how that goes. And there's no quick answer in nature and in science. There just really isn't. It totally depends on where you're at. It totally depends on what your data set is that you're looking for. Me personally, I want to see more than just, I want to see more than, thousands of these guys or 2 of these guys, because we have studies that show that 2 of these guys will take over 10 to 12 feet of a bank cover. We need in all things in nature, we need complexity, and we need complexity across age classes, complexity across macrophytes. If any of you guys are interested in science and in studying this stuff, please do, because it's fascinating.
Can I say this? So right now your email address is on the bottom of the screen. If anybody wants to follow up with you about these stats or some of the studies, that I assume that they could just reach out and email you. But
correct. Yep. Correct. Cool. You bet, Mike.
So somebody had a question about
it's not uncommon to have
I'll just quick say that for the lightning round. 3, 4, 500% increase through a habitat improvement project. It's not uncommon. That seems to be a good average across Southwest in our area. Again,
Somebody was
correct me
looking
if
for
I'm wrong.
the, sorry.
No.
Somebody was looking for the GPS coordinates for that barrier-free fishing area on the South Branch. Does it have a name? We don't actually need I was just kidding about the GPS coordinates, but is it like a natural area, or is it just the South Branch or the Oconto River like fishery area?
So if you look at a map, you will see Boulder Lake, which you guys go camp in the National Forest, take your family, take your loved ones, go camp in the National Forest, camp at Boulder Lake. It's right on County W. If you want to go for a great drive, take Highway 55 through the Menominee Indian Reservation, through Kashina, right along the Wolf River, one of the finest drives in the state of Wisconsin. Hang a right on County W. You'll see signs for Boulder Lake. Hang a right on County W and go past County W. You'll hit County T and hang a left, which is north, and it will be up there 6 miles maybe. You'll see actually just south of Old Graves Road, which is another great road to drive up, both for the name and also for the areas to fish and to camp. But be careful on that road because you might need to, you might get stuck on that road.
Yeah.
But have fun.
I can vouch for what you say about Highway 55. I've been making that drive up to the Wolf River in Langley County since I was a teenager, and it is spectacular. So, you showed a spider that was about the size of your hand. What was the name of the spider?
That's a dark fishing spider. They come in dark or light, and I think the only difference is that their colors are light or dark. Some people call them northern water spiders, but I think their technical term is just a dark fishing spider.
Cool. I'm going to follow up on the inland trout stamps. Somebody just put on here that there were 168,000 inland trout stamps sold this year. So I think it was like 141 or 142, somewhere around there last year. So pretty significant increase. Last question that we had, somebody asked about, trying to think of how to word this. So somebody asked about if you had advice about fishing the area that wouldn't disturb the habitat improvements that you've done, or maybe put another way, like how durable are these bank covers? Can I just go walk on it? Or like I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, am I?
Yeah, no, you can walk on brush bundles, walk over wood, you can, walk over all that. But this is a great question. And this is a great tip. If you're in the water during the daytime, don't be in the water during the daytime. If you are out trying to catch fish, especially sizable fish, good size fish, there's a couple of tips that I would give you. Fish double taper 3-weight lines. Use 1/1800th of a butt section. Don't use 20, 22, 23. Don't use, if you want to be successful in central Wisconsin, try to stay out of the water as much as you can. Know that their biggest predator, and there are a lot of them are around here, are otters. And when an otter goes in a trout stream, if you've ever seen them hunt, they're like killer whales. They are fantastic, and again, they're beautiful. They're beautiful animals too in what they do, and they don't make a whole lot of noise. They will push water. Again, going back to that same slide, our water tends to be like a sheet of glass, and if you are pushing a wave upstream, wait, I better do that. There you go. Try not to do that. Use double taper 3 weights. Fish when it's raining out, fish when it's dark out, fish early morning, fish streamers. We have a lot of fish wet flies, fish downstream, fish flims, soft hackles, nymphs. If you're a spin angler, fish night crawlers. If you can pull it off, don't use a bobber or use as small a bobber as you can. Again, because you do not want to make noises, splashing noises. You don't want to push waves. You don't want to, you have to come at this like a heron if you want to be successful. And you have to enjoy the process. I grew up fishing in Madison in Southwest Wisconsin and moved up here and started fishing here in 91, 92. And man, I still cannot believe. In fact, I have my old 4-weight here. I should almost go grab it. I have my old 4-weight, my old St. Croix sitting right here because it's a testament to this area that I never broke this over my knee. I keep it as a reminder when things get tough. I just look at this thing sitting over in the corner there and I'm like, man, ain't that bad. But this area, you guys, this area can be very humbling from a trout fishing perspective. When I first moved up here, I was so used to nymph fishing with indicators and I was successful, you know, down in Southwest and in Madison, and I moved up here and I mean, you know, you will still get skunked. You will still get skunked. 20, 30 years of fishing and fishing these waters heavy. You will still come up empty in Washera. And you need to be, if you love the process and the game, then you will love this water. If you let it get to you, you will hate this water. It will frustrate the heck out of you. But it is worth holding out for and to sticking with. The other thing I would tell you is that our trout around here, because they are fully functioning stream corridors, and because we have shifting sand, is our trout move. They move tremendously. Part of the game here is figuring out where these trout are going to be. And I already gave you hints. Throughout this presentation. So you guys can piece them together to figure it out. But yeah, any other fishing or any other questions? Sorry, another long answer.
It's okay. I think we're probably about time to wrap it up. We would love to have you back to do like a fishing segment. I think it sounds like you could wrap on that for like a good hour and a half too. So I think we're gonna definitely have you back on. Thanks so much for sharing your passion and for all the work that you do. It's really amazing to see you guys go out and just keep kicking it every year after year. It just gets better and better. So we can't thank you enough for the work that you're putting in and the passion that you have to make trout fishing in Wisconsin better.
Hey, thank you. Thank everybody out there for taking time from your life to listen to this. And yeah, thanks for supporting what we do. We couldn't do it if people didn't love or care for this. We wouldn't exist. And again, get out there, enjoy, have fun. If you want to make a difference too, join Trout Unlimited. Again, I can't say enough. And again, thank you. You guys sleep tight, and we'll be in touch.
Sounds great. Thanks, Shawn. Really appreciate it. I hope everybody
take care, guys.
Healthy out there. We will be back next month with another guest speaker. First Wednesday of the month, 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shawn.